Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Rock of Truth podcast. Before we get started tonight, quick word from our sponsor, Danco Transmission and Auto Care, out there in Fairfield, out Route 4. Tell him Soppy sent you. He might give you a treat. Take care of that car for you. We've got a special one tonight. I think this is history for the Rock of Truth. Probably the biggest guest we've ever had in our life. We got Coach Chad Dollar. Coach, how we doing?
Man, I'm doing great. How everything's going with you guys?
Man, we're doing well. Real quick, Chad, this is you got Jake Sopko up there, one of my former teammates, former Bearcat QB over
Okay.
there, and our good friend Joe Met. He's actually a basketball coach himself for the CHCA Lady Eagles. So
Okay. I'm
that's
gonna tell you this. I used to hate women's basketball. I used to hate it. But I'll tell you this, but when you get two daughters, you start loving it. So
Yeah.
I'm all about it. I'm all about it. That was a long time ago, but I'm all about it right now. All about it.
I never, honestly, I never thought I coached boys the last few years. So I don't know if Brian Fetzer. He's good friends with Mike. He's like best
I
friends
know
with Mike.
yeah. Definitely,
So
I know what you're
I work with him over at CHCA. So I'm always,
cool.
yeah.
Coach. We appreciate you coming on. Big win last night. That
Yes,
was a good one.
anytime you in conference play and you go on the road and you get a win, that's a plus one.
Yeah.
I have a little system that I make, and you get a road win in conference play, that's a plus one. And so, it was actually they had a pretty good atmosphere for South Florida,
Yeah.
and so for us to get that win, I was very excited about it.
That's the alma mater, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I played there, and people don't realize that South Florida been to the tournament three times in the history of the program,
Wow.
and that's three times. And I was on one of them teams, and so stepping foot there and being there and seeing some of my teammates, that's always good. Always good.
How far of a run do you guys have?
It was good. You know what I mean? We had a very successful run, and it was good. We really tried to put our footprint in the program, and it was good. It was good the time I was there.
That's awesome. Sopko is actually he's actually a Floridian now. He resides down there in Orlando.
Was it a little bit of a tease seeing that 80-degree weather yesterday compared to going back to Cincy?
100%. I'm not going to lie about that. I had my little vest jacket on, and so we get there, and I take it off real quick, and then I'm at the pool side, and I'm at the pool side watching some basketball stuff, getting ready for the game, and so that was good. And then obviously I had to when we landed, it was raining and it was foggy, and I'm like, I'm back in my Midwest territory. So no, but it was good. It was good being in Florida for a little while, and like I said, we took care of business, and we had a successful trip, and we'll go back when we play Central Florida, and and kind of handle business like we're supposed to do.
That's good, man. You guys have been really starting out strong in the conference, playing some good ball. Can you talk a little bit? You talked about some systems you've got. Sopko and I playing under Luke Fickle when he was here. Is all about just little sayings as far as not only just the team together, everyone achieves more, but also like 4 to 6, A to B, just all these little sayings and team mottos. What are some things for basketball that's a much smaller unit, much smaller of a team, little tighter of a group that you try to instill in any program? You've been all across the map.
Well, I would tell you this. I have a lot of respect for Luke Fickle, what he did at UC, and the success he had here, and just me being, and I used to work at LSU, worked at Auburn, worked in Georgia, and they're seeing their football program close and up front, and then see what Coach Fickle did here the years he was here. So I have a total lot of respect for what he did for the program here. Like for basketball, it's a little different. Like we take it. We have a smaller group, obviously in football, and then for basketball, for our program, we really don't have a saying or a slogan or anything like that. We just try to go day by day, and we talk about sawing wood, and that's the old saying. The old guy, like, we just try to saw that wood every single day. So we try to do what we need to do every single day and be consistent in our approach and with our program and things of that nature. And we actually, we talk. This is one thing we learned about the football program. They were consistent, and that's what we try to do. We try to be consistent day in and day out in our approach at being successful and getting where we need to go with this basketball program.
Love it.
I love that. And you kind of mentioned that you've been in a lot of different places, and I looked up your coaching tree. You've been a lot of SEC environments and stuff like that. What is Cincinnati compared to that? I know UC and Cincy is been a basketball school. It's got a great basketball program. What's that environment like at Fifth Third?
Well, I would tell you this. Yes, I actually, one of my very first jobs was East Kentucky in OVC. My wife, she spent most of the time in Richmond, Kentucky. And so I'm very familiar with the area and things of that nature. And then when I was a GA, they was going through conference alignment, back in the day. And I started off at Southern Miss, and Southern Miss was in the Conference USA and things of that nature. So I'm very familiar with the UC program and what it stands for and the excitement they have around the basketball program. And it's nothing like it. We talk about the SEC schools, and at the end of the day, it's football. I mean, that is what it is. I mean, and I love football. Like Coach Miller always get on me because I'm always watching football. He gets on me like, "Dog, you always watching football, man." And that's kind of my hobby. I love football, so I love football. But I would tell you this: it's a beauty to be a program like UC that Coach Fickle did a good job of kind of elevating the football program. They went to the Final Four, and then you got the tradition with basketball. And you have, every time you walk out in Fifth Third Arena, you're going to get 10,000 there. I mean, that's what it is. Last year we played a Division II school, and it was a last-minute game because of COVID, and we had 10,000 there. I mean, that tell you a little bit about our program and why I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be at UC because of the tradition they have in basketball, because of the area, because of the university, and because of the athletic department in whole. But it's something that's beautiful to be a part of.
Now, Coach, you congratulations, by the way. You got named associate head coach earlier this year, which is a huge honor. What did that mean to you? I wanted to ask you that. What did that mean to you? Because that's a big deal for Wes to say. That kind of says you're his guy. Like, you're the associate head coach. And I know you guys are one big family, but that says a lot about you both as a recruiter and a coach. What did that mean to you?
No, it was really it was unexpected, and it was really a great honor, man. Because like I told you, like the history of this program and the Final Fours, the NBA players, the tradition they have, and then with Coach Miller, like his success rate he's had, and the trajectory he's going his career, and for him to say, "Hey, Coach Dollar, I want you to be with me. I want you to be a part of this," and it means a whole lot to me and a whole lot to my family, and it was definitely something that I take seriously. And it's something that was very, very. It was an honor to be named associate head coach at the University of Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's a great honor. And you hit on a little bit about the NBA players that have come from the University of Cincinnati, and you had an honor to coach actually a number one overall draft pick before you got here. Can you talk a little bit? Like, did you always know that Anthony Edwards was a next level type of guy, or how much just what it's like to coach somebody of that much talent? Yeah.
Yeah, no. I've been knowing what they we call him Ant Man back back in the ATL,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been knowing him ever since he was in 8th grade. And obviously, like, people would lie to you. They said, "Man, I knew he was gonna be an NBA player." No, I did not know that. I knew he was a talent, but I did not know he was gonna be an NBA player. And but I knew he was a very talented kid, and he was very hungry, and had had the desire to get to the next level and things of that nature. And it's when I started recruiting him that early, but then as we projected him, as we got farther on in the process, I knew he'd be an NBA player. Did not know he'd be a number one pick in the draft. I knew he'd be an NBA player, and it's a special deal, man. It's like I can't even explain it, man, because it's something that I'll always cherish coaching him. Hey, I hit him on Instagram today, and he hit me right back just to say, "How you doing, Coach?" And
That's awesome.
it just it's a special deal, man. But be able to be a part of something like that, and to be able to coach a kid and a young man now, like Anthony Edwards, and just to see him grow over the years and see his talent level and how he impacts so many people, whether it's his family, whether it's his high school, whether it's the coaches, and how he impacts so many people. And he's continuing to develop and grow in the NBA. But it's a one in a lifetime opportunity to be able to coach a kid like that.
What'd you think of his acting performance in the Adam Sandler movie he was in? Hustle. That was a great movie.
Oh man, it was. You know what? Only him. It was something. I like, hey man, I want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? No,
Yeah.
it was a great deal for him to be able, do that. And again, man, he just such a good kid. People don't understand. Like, some people understand, but his background is unique. Both his parents passed away.
Mhm.
Grandparents passed away. It's just his brothers and sister and him. That's it.
Wow.
And at a young age, and so for him to accomplish things he's accomplished on the basketball court and off the court too, because you need no scandals, no none of that stuff.
Mhm.
For him to do things he's done and continue to do things he's done, it's a very special deal.
Now, how do you so you came across him in the 8th grade, you said, correct?
Yes.
You
Yes.
now did you start recruiting him when he was that young, or did you guys, wait a little bit? What'd that kind of look like?
Well, he's from Atlanta, and so I'm from Atlanta also, and so we kind of from this kind of like some of the same neighborhood, and so like guys in the neighborhood was talking about him. He was actually a football player, played football, and everybody was talking about him and things of that nature, and so I just kind of stayed in contact with him, and then as he progressed in his career, I progressed in my career, and things kind of went 1-2, and and he, it just kind of went from there.
Was
It's
he?
a blessing, man. Like I said, I can't put I can't. I really, hey, 2 or 3 years ago, I recruited Chuma Okichi. That was at Auburn. That's at Orlando Magic now. Devion Mitchell. That's at Auburn. Like Nick Claxton. That's at University of Georgia. It's just something that's I'm just blessed to be able to have a good eye for talent and be able to help young men be successful.
Ooh, Davion Mitchell. I remember him 16 and under dominating the Peach Jam.
Yes.
Just a dog. Walked out of that like
that team that you're talking about.
uh-huh.
Really, they won the Peach Jam.
That's it, with a bunch of 16s, with a bunch of younger guys.
Yes. They had actually had 3 guys that are playing the NBA on that team right there.
Ooh,
3 guys.
I love me. You talk about a
Chuma,
Bearcat. Davion Mitchell was a Bearcat.
Who else? Chuma, Davion. Oh,
I screwed it up.
I think we lost you. He's
We
back.
got
Who was the last one?
I said they had Davion, Chuma, and Jared Harper.
Yep.
That was on that.
Yep.
Jared Harper could hoop.
Is that Ron's son?
Now, you remember the little guy? Remember when they went to the Final
little
Four?
guy that played at Auburn.
He's little. He's like 5'8",
Yeah,
5'9".
Oh, shooter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, from deep.
Now,
Yeah.
hey, Coach, talking about evaluating talent, right? We've got, you guys have brought in Dan, you brought in Josh, Sage. Next year's recruiting class is obviously right now Jizzle, Rayvon. I want to talk about Jizzle. Okay, I've had conversations with people. I know as a freshman, there's a huge learning curve when you get to the college game, especially from a defensive standpoint. But very rarely do you see a kid who's dropping 40 on some of the best teams in Florida. I mean, he's dropping in the 30s on a nightly basis almost at this point.
I will tell you this. I told Coach this when we was at the game. I've been to a lot of games with guys that had already signed, and I've never seen a performance like he put on the other day. It was unbelievable. And again, we talked about Ant-Man. We talked about a lot of guys. He dominated. Now, I'm gonna keep my hands crossed. I'm gonna pray, make sure that he continue that trajectory going up. But what he put on the other day had me so excited. It was awesome. It was awesome to perform. And you talk about he played against Oak Ridge, which is one of the top high schools in Florida that had multiple Division I guys on their team. So you're talking about he performing against an elite high school team. He's not getting this. You're talking about he performing an elite high school team. He had a very successful game. And so, again, there's always a learning curve when you come from high school to college. And so I always keep that in perspective. But I think we got a good player in him, and he's guys that work hard and dedicated to the game. So, but we're excited about him as we move forward.
You hit on just good programs down there in Florida. We got a fan with a good comment here. I like this question a lot. John White. He goes that Southwest Ohio is a pretty good football recruiting hotbed. We got a lot of guys that play well, big time football out of here. What is your assessment of just high school hoops in Southwest Ohio?
You know what? It's when I got the job at UC, that's the first thing I dig in because I think it's so important to recruit your backyard. And so me going to the different high schools in the area and watching them and talking to the coaches, and it's very fundamentally sound. The coaches know what they're doing. The players, because of their learn from the coaches, their advance and their improvement and where they're trying to go. But you can really find some good players in this area, and that's what we want to do. We got. I mean, I love Florida. I even love Georgia, but you got to take care of your backyard. You got to, and so. Yeah, this is something that means a lot to us, and again, I think the basketball in this area is really good, and we're excited to be able to recruit this area also.
Yeah, and I don't know how many other states don't have it. I think the rules changing here soon in Ohio, but does the lack of a shot clock, do you think, hurt high school ball, or what's your thoughts on that?
In my opinion, all the schools, high school ball need a shot clock.
Mm-hmm.
That's the game now. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what it is. Again, we were sitting there watching Jizzle play the other day, and I told Coach, I said, Coach, when I played, it's the fourth quarter, and we're up by 10, and it's 4 minutes left, we're not losing. We're going Dean Smith, four corners.
Four corners.
Laughing. We're going 4. I said, Coach, my dad's my high school coach. We are not losing. We are not losing the league. He started laughing. And so, yes, again, all the schools, and I think all high school needs some type of shot clock because that's a game now, and so yeah, I think that's very important moving forward. That you're gonna play basketball, you got the NBA with 24-second shot clock. You got college got a shot clock, so obviously high school needs something too.
Coach, we ran in high school when I played. We ran the flex, and we would hold the ball for 3 minutes at a time until we got a wide open layup. We made people sit down and guard us for 3 minutes.
I get it. Like me and Coach was laughing. I get it, man. Like that's like that because Jizzle was playing and they was up, and so I like Coach. We'll never lose this game. Now I'm telling you. He started laughing, and so no, that's no. I definitely understand that the flex and kind of milking the clock a little bit and things of that nature. That's something that's that I definitely understand.
I hated it. I hated playing without a shot clock, but I wanted to run up and down, play AAU ball, and my high school coach just ran. We called it open, just pass, cut, screen away, wait for a layup. Like don't shoot a three. It was so boring. It was brutal.
No, I get it. I definitely get it. Definitely get it.
It was brutal. So, Coach, obviously, big news. Bearcats are headed to Big 12 here soon. We've talked a little bit, in passing at the gym, just about how being in different conferences, just what it does off the court. Can you talk about not only just coaching in different conferences, but just the style of basketball and play and just uniqueness that each conference you've been a part of has, or conferences of teams that you play against?
When you talk about moving to the Big 12, which is from a basketball perspective, right now and last few years is statistically it's the best basketball conference in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that is what it is. I mean I'm not saying something that basketball people don't know and don't understand, and so it's going to be a challenge for us to make that next step. Our administration, our program is committed to that, and it's going to be a unique deal for us to be a part of that be a part of the Big 12, and we're excited about it. And it's something that we're gonna take it on and be ready to go. I mean, it's the style of play. I think it's style of play is every coach got this different style of play. Like you miss style of play, like Bill Self gonna have his style, Scott Drew gonna have his style, Jamie Dixon gonna have his style, Coach Miller gonna have his style, but it's about our program. It's about us getting players to compete, and because at the end of the day, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Good players make good coaches, so we got to go out and recruit some very good players to help us move the needle when we move to the Big 12.
Now, Coach, going off of that, so I just want the viewers and the fans to be able to understand a little bit better. Like, how big of a difference is it? Can you explain to us? Like, I don't think Bearcat fans really understand. There's a huge difference between your ability to recruit while you're in the American Athletic Conference, and nothing against the AAC. But when you move to a conference like the Big 12, like, how much does that help you guys in recruiting to be able to land players in the portal and land freshmen that are more talented than what you probably would have gotten when you were in the AAC?
Yeah, and again, and you said the key note is we trying to win the American right now, and it's like the coaches in American are very. I mean, there's some very very good coaches in America. Like we just left South Florida, and Coach Gregory is one of the. I personally think he's a really good coach, and he's been doing this for 20 plus years, and he's one of my mentors. He's at South Florida, and so it's the America's a very good conference. But then on the highs, you're talking about the Big 12, and it's a big difference, a really big difference, because now you're talking about with the Americans net might be a little lower. You're talking about the Big 12 like at the top of the country, and so day in and day out, you run against some very very heavy hitters. And so again, nothing to take away from the American, but there's definitely a level up when you're talking about the Big 12.
That's great. Go ahead, Jake.
No, that's awesome. And I had a question more so just about this year's team. These two here are probably, I know Joe Met at least is watching every game. He's really high level on what's going on. I'm more of a casual, just to be honest with you. I'm a football guy. I kind of dive into college.
Hey, I'll tell you this right now. Coach Miller gets on me all the time because football is my hobby. I'm a basketball. I'm watching football game. He like, I know you watch this game. I know you. So hey, you good with me, man? Because hey, I'm from the dirty South. So football, I love basketball, but football is my hobby. Hey, give me a question about football. I'll tell you who came out the portal today. I'm all about. I know everything about football too. I'm telling you.
All right, I'll come back with you after this one with a football question. But what I wanted to ask though is like somebody who like me who might not jump into it until after football season to really get into basketball in the NBA. You know, I'm checking the box scores, but I haven't watched too much this year quite yet. You know, what do I need to know about this year's team? What's different from last year's team? Like, what do I need to know about the Bearcats this year? I know we're on a roll right now. You know, what is that success attributed to?
Well, I would tell you this team is been our first year last year, but this team this year is committed to winning. They put winning before anything else. For statistics, for shots, before starting, this team is committed to winning. And as we move forward and do the things we need, they're going to show in social media. But this team is committed to winning. So when you committed to winning, you're going to have success.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between this team this year and last year.
Do you think that's more so just guys buying into the culture? Because I know, you know, Stady and I were playing at you. Oh,
no.
We lost him.
No, did we lose him?
We lost him.
Man, we can't keep a guest on connection.
I had a good follow up too. That's unfortunate.
Hey, we got to keep rolling here, fellas. Let's get, you know.
What do I tell him? Just join the link. Well.
Oh, here we go.
There it is.
I hung up on me, man. Come on now.
Up on us.
Hey, if Luke Fickle's on here, I know y'all make sure Luke is on this thing.
Not anymore. Not anymore, Coach.
Not anymore. Y'all done with Luke?
No,
these two aren't.
Man, I would tell you right now, I was devastated when Luke left. I'm not gonna be honest with y'all. I was like, come on, can't leave us now. But you know what? I got a lot of faith in the new coach. I think gonna be all right.
Yeah,
they're gonna be all right.
They'll be all right.
We gotta give him a chance. I think it's gonna be all right, man. I like what he's doing. I like what he's getting out the portal. And he gonna bring a different style. He gonna do a little different now. He ain't gonna, he gonna be a little different. So we gotta understand that. And I'll tell you this, and I'm getting my football stuff in now.
I like it.
He's going to the Big 12. That's a big difference now than the American. That's a big difference football wise. We talk about basketball, but that's a big difference him coming here. But I'm excited about our football program, and I'm excited about our athletics too. But I'm excited about it, and I'll be at the games, man. I'll be right there on the front row cheering, have my little pom poms cheering. So I'm ready to go. Take the attention off basketball. That's one thing football do. Take the attention off basketball.
Everybody needs that. Jake, you remember your question? What you had for him?
Oh yeah, I was following up to your answer. You're talking about guys being committed to winning, and kind of where I was going with it was like Stady and I were there when Coach Tuberville's last year, and he left, and then Fickle came in, and it was like total 180. Could not have been more different. And he was like tough and nasty, like this is our culture. Like he would come into meetings, we'd have to repeat it every day. You'd be like shitting in your seat because you're afraid he's going to ask you what the like pillars of the program are, and if you didn't have it memorized, like you're going to get called out. And It was just completely different, and it was a total culture shock and change. And I think a lot of guys didn't buy into it at first, and we weren't very good. And then the next year, everybody just said, you know what, like we're in, this is what we're doing, bought in, and we ended up winning 10 games. So I was just kind of wondering, like, it's really hard to go in and win your first year as a coach.
Yeah.
Is that when you talk about committed to winning, is it more so like buying into the culture? When you say that, like guys just kind of buying into what you're trying to do at UC?
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because we're in this society, man, what I call a microwave society. Everybody want it right now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They want the success right now. And sometimes it happens right now. But the majority of the time, it takes time to build your program, to set the foundation and things of that nature. And that's what I talk about, man, because, I look at the programs from a basketball perspective that's been successful from year in and year out. And it's all about a foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody build a foundation for them to be successful. And so I look at that from a basketball perspective, football perspective, and everything. But yeah, I personally think it takes time to build your program and to head in the right direction. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about.
Coach, how much does Joe Met's going to love this question, by the way? How much does having just a older veteran guy around, especially a guy who played at a bigger program before transferring to Cincy, and David DeJulius, and just having that guy in the program, like not only how much he does leading on the court, but also I'm sure in the locker room and off the court does a great job. But how much does that help you as a coach and your other coaches just take a little stress off you, because you know this guy's he's always gonna lift other people up, whether that's on the court or off.
Oh man, Dave is unbelievable, man. His approach to every game, every practice, life. You there?
Yeah, we're here.
Oh yeah, his approach to everything, man, and it's unbelievable, man. Like having him a part of our program.
I'm gonna have to have
And to get better, and man, having him in our program and his leadership and things of that nature is been unbelievable. Like last couple of games, he's a hot name when you talk about UC, and a lot of coaches are trying to take him out and things of that nature. And he had a good game yesterday, shooting the ball and playing well. And so he's someone that I respect to the utmost, and I'm glad he's a part of the UC family, and I know he's excited to be a part of the UC family also.
I love that.
Hey, Coach, me and Stady, we've been going back and forth because we've been talking about some different stuff. But like, how much? Like, Dave's been awesome this year. How much has it helped having Landers transfer in and having a guy like Landers be able to step into a role where now they can't just focus on Dave; they also got to worry about Landers as well. How big is that for you guys in taking the step you have this year? Because I feel like you guys are a much more complete, better basketball team than you were last year. Is that a huge contributor to what's going on this year, do you think?
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. If you have guys that can perform for you, and right now, you have Landers, you got Dave, and I want to say this. This is something I'm so glad this came up. You got, we talked about Landers and Dave, but we talked about Davenport. I really want to say this, and that man loved UC. He's a Cincinnati guy, and so he's kind of been inconsistent a little bit, but UC, man, and sometimes the fans are hard on him a little bit, but that kid loved being a part of our program. He loved he grew up wanting to be a UC guy. That's why the fans get hard on him sometimes. Like, man, this guy, he died to be, he wanted to be, he begged to come to UC.
Mm-hmm.
And so and he's been inconsistent at times, but he helped us win a lot of games too. That's why I told somebody, like, you wasn't mad at him when he hit them 7-8 threes. Y'all wasn't booing him then. You know what I mean? Like, and all of a sudden now y'all, he hit a couple shots, but we won a couple games. Y'all was all happy, but he's a family, and like he loves UC, and so he's somebody that I want to make sure that I talk about because he's on the scouting report. You're not gonna leave him open. Mm-hmm. I'm just telling you right now. Like he takes sometimes he takes some questionable shots and he's played with a passion sometimes. But I definitely want to say that about him, man, because his passion to be a part of our program is number one. And
man, tough freezes.
It is tough.
There he is.
Well, and coach, we're really tough to beat because especially when Landers and Dave have it going on any given night. You add Jeremiah in when Jeremiah's making shots. We're really, really hard to beat. So we need. If we want to get into the tournament in March and make a run, we need him to make shots.
No, that's important. And coach been, one thing that coach has been preaching, but this is been preaching about, which really came up the last game play SMU, is like we gotta win some ball games when we don't make shots. And the SMU game was one of them games that we did that.
I love the SMU game. Stady, I don't know if you watched the SMU game. It gave us some it felt like a Mick Cronin game, Coach Dollar. It was like old Bearcats, like just grind it out, can't make a shot type of game. So I love getting a win.
Like, coach, I get you, coach. And so we were laughing at each other, but we both know the offense, defense is important. But now we always excited to win a game like that because you got to win games like that because you play in a conference tournament and you're not going to shoot well every game. And so you got to find a way to win. And we found a way to win the SMU game, even though we didn't shoot the ball well. So I think that was a very important time of our program when we won that game.
Coach, you said you're from the ATL. Are you a Falcons fan?
You hit a nerve there now.
Oh, you're not a Falcons fan.
I am a Falcons fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they are trying to convert me to a Bengals fan down here now, And so one guy that's from Atlanta, you guys know, Pat Man. Me and him went to high school together.
Okay.
And so I think I'm an Atlanta fan, but I love the Bengals though.
How'd you feel about our boy Dez in his 4 starts this year for the Falcons?
Man, it's pretty windy, kind of stormy. I think that's what's getting coach's connection.
Is it storming out in Cincy right now?
It's just real windy. I know that.
What's that weather looking like?
Not 82, sunny, and palm trees.
Not 82, sunny, and palm trees?
No.
I think he's back in here. Here we
go.
There we go.
There we go.
Man, you see, you talk about the Falcons, we lost connection.
You
can't talk about the Falcons. The only time, 2 things: Michael Vick and Deion Sanders. That's when I was a little kid then, but
yeah.
But Pat Man Jones told me I gotta like the Bengals. He's from my neighborhood in Atlanta. He said I gotta. So ever since I moved here, I'm a Bengals fan. I got a Bengals hat. I went to the game the other day, so I'm all about the Bengals now.
There you go.
It's a good team to root for.
Coach,
what you think? You got them by 7?
I don't know what to think.
There you go. See, I knew that.
I got old money on the Bills, so I'm kind of, I'm a little. My hands are tied.
Where you from?
I'm from Cleveland though, so I'm a Browns fan, and that's tough.
Cleveland.
That's tough.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Get him out of here.
Get him out. He's in Cleveland. Get him out.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Kick me while I'm down, why don't you?
Oh man, Cleveland.
He hates seeing the Bengals succeed, man. It's so funny.
He'll be all right. Oh,
That
my
was
man,
probably-
Teddy coming back.
That was probably Baker. Baker probably did that.
Hey. Hey, we're on to the Cavs now. We're on to the Cavs.
Now we all, he missed out. He missed out.
You guys have playoffs.
I did have one question, Coach. I know you guys have touched on this a little bit,
I'm
but
good.
how proud are you of these guys? Start of the season, you lose John, you lose Rob. Defense was an issue. They've stepped it up. The defensive metrics over the past 6 weeks have been outstanding. Rebounding was an issue. They've stepped it up. Rebounding over the past couple of weeks has been outstanding. Like each time it seems like there's a challenge. This team has embraced it, and they've embraced coaching. You talk about, it's just a group that wants to win. But on an individual level, like it takes a lot for guys to buy into this isn't working.
Yeah.
So let's fix it.
Yeah.
And these guys get in the gym and they fix it. And I've been doing this a long time. You've been doing this a long time. I've been around a lot of teams. You've been around a lot of teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's not common that teams buy into that.
Agreed.
And how proud are you of this group that they're like, hey, what do we got to do to win? Is it we got to get better on defense? All right, let's get better on defense. Is it we got to rebound? All right, we got to rebound. Is it we got to stop playing ISO and share the ball? They stop playing ISO and share the ball. Like it's a collective effort that I just think from this group as a coach, man, you got to be beaming with like we're getting in the gym and we're actually getting better every day.
No, you hit it on the head, man. And the way you broke it down made me even think even more like you're totally right because, you started off and everybody was talking about we didn't have an inside presence. We weren't going to be able to handle teams on the backboard. And then, and so then another thing come up. This team is we got a veteran group of guys. They've been through a lot. Like people don't understand. We got guys that have been through COVID. They season ended just like that. And so we got guys that are very hard-nosed, resilient, and they're about winning. That's what's about it. Like I heard them hold up and talk about how they want to win the championship, win the American Conference, get to the NCAA tournament. They didn't know I was listening, and so it's been a pleasure to be with this group. I think we're going to continue to get better. Continue what I tell them. We want to dominate January, and then try to just stomp on February. And I think as we continue to get better, continue to do what we need to do, and put ourselves in the right position, that when the season all said and done, we're going to be in the NCAA tournament.
Love it.
Love that.
Appreciate you. I'll let you get back to the guys, but I did want to ask that because I don't think fans understand how hard it is to get a team to do that.
No, you're right. You're right because you're talking about kids that come from different areas, different universities. When they step on campus, they have different agendas.
Yep.
And Coach Miller's done a really good job of bringing everybody together for one common goal. And we actually changed our motto. And hopefully won't get mad at me and give me the sheet to lead. But we talk about 2 feet. You're gonna have 2 feet in, not one, but 2 feet. So when we put our hands together after practice, after games, before games, we say 1, 2, 3, 2 feet. And we didn't do that last year, and this year there's something that we kind of came up with, and the guys have embraced it, and we're gonna have 2 feet in, not one, not two, not no toes, but all 2 feet in. And so far as we move forward, the guys have done that.
It's good to see you, man. I'll let you get back with these fellas, but I had a question or two. I ain't seen you in a while, so
I know, man. You pop out. It's good to see you, man. You pop out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh, no, it's good to see you, man.
Hopefully, I'll be back soon, man. Hopefully, I'll be back soon.
No, I appreciate you, man. And praying for recovery for your wife and all and things of that nature.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. We'll see you soon.
No doubt.
Coach, man, we appreciate it. Went a little longer than we game planned with you, but you've been great, man. With one final question, if you could pick one thing about living here in Cincinnati, what would be your favorite thing in your short time?
Woo, man! You said one.
We're not the South now. I get it, but it's a pretty great city, I'd say.
I don't know if I want to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So I'm at South Florida yesterday, and I saw one of my former teammates, one of my former coaches, and when I played at South Florida, back in the day we had a home series with that other team in Norwood. You know that team in Norwood we talking about that they say they're from Cincinnati, but they're really not from Cincinnati. It's, that other team in the other city.
Uh-huh.
You know? And the coach said, Chad, you remember when we took the team to the boathouse? I was like, Coach, I can't believe you, man. We still take teams to the boathouse and recruits. Yeah. And so I'm gonna tell you right now, the one thing I say about this area, the boathouse.
That was my
boathouse.
That was my birthday.
Still standing, baby. The boathouse. Hey, that's back in the day. The boathouse is still standing. So you talk about this area, man. You talking about that good food.
Yeah,
good atmosphere, baby. That's what I always can think about.
That was my birthday dinner for like 10 years running. No lie. But no, again, man, we loved having you on. We appreciate it. This was a blast. This was so great.
No, I'm glad, man. And for all the listeners, man, you gotta go to the Black Sheep.
BSP, come get right. Come get right. We love that. Love it.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Good luck Sunday. I'll be in attendance Sunday, so good luck.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Let's do this again.
All right, Coach.
You're always welcome. Come on whenever you want.
Again, I appreciate it.
Rock out.
All right.
That was awesome. What a great dude.
That was great. Coach Dollar, Coach Chad Dollar coming in hot, giving us some really great answers and insight into the Bearcats this year.
Definitely. I mean, does that create buy-in for you, Soppy? Are you going to be 2 feet?
Dude, now I feel like I'm 2 feet in, 10 toes down. When's the next game? Sunday? I looked up the schedule.
Sunday at 1 o'clock in Fifth Third against the Memphis Tigers. It's a huge game.
That is
huge chance to build a great tournament resume. Right, Stady?
Sunday at 1?
I'll be there, baby.
It's the worst time ever for a basketball game during playoff time.
Who day at 3?
Games going on.
You heard it. You heard him though. He wants us to have 2 feet in. We got as a fan base. We got to have 2 feet in.
I'll be home. I can watch on 2 screens, but not.
I got to get my 2 feet in the arena somehow.
That game would probably be over by the time the playoff game starts, right?
Yeah, it would probably be Bengal game would be starting right as it was finishing.
Yeah. Well, I'm in now. Coach got me fired up about the program, man. He seems like an awesome dude. He was fun. It was fun to have on. So
he was awesome.
We'll have him on again, but no, that was great.
Maybe get him on for the tournament run. When the Cats get into the tournament. I don't know, probably be pretty busy then. We probably want to focus on that, but maybe if you can find some time in there, we can get him on here.
And the fact that he got any time at all to hop on the Rock of Truth is pretty impressive.
Exactly.
We love that. Awesome. What we want to touch on recent transactions for the Bearcats football, or how you guys feel about some recent moves we got going on?
Yeah, they brought in some transfers, right?
Dude, Montgomery coming back. Big announcement today. Ryan.
Monty coming back.
I didn't see it until before the show, but yeah, I like that. I like that he's coming back. But
we brought in corner from Florida,
DB from Florida,
even from Washington State.
Yeah, we got a D end actually from Utah State.
He's from what I've heard, he's really really good, which is good. We need a pass rusher off the edge.
Yeah, got to see him move a little bit in person, and he's impressive. That's for sure.
There we go. There's the list pulled up.
Yeah,
I mean they're bringing in. I know this like cycle I think ends this weekend or something.
Tomorrow, I believe.
Tomorrow, and then what is it after spring balls the next time that they can get guys?
that the Sterling, is it Burkwalter? Is that how you say it? I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but
So you're allowed to add guys still. The portal closed yesterday. So guys can't enter the portal, but all the guys in the portal can still commit wherever. Like there's no time frame on that. But then guys won't be able to enter the portal again until I think May 1st. May 1st through 15th is the next window for entry.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And we had what? Drew Donnelly just announced he's
departing. That was a surprise to me. But
sure he'll be wearing red and white in 2 weeks
with a big W on the side of the helmet.
Yeah.
No, that Sterling kid, he's a Princeton kid. So from the city, coming back home, excited about him. Yeah, I like what's going on. I couldn't agree with Coach Chad Dollar anymore.
Just got to find guys come in, buy in. I mean, it's just a totally different ballgame these days. Like you see teams like USC last year who almost made it to the CFP, and they're just like first-year head coach, quarterback transfers in, and you just bring in a bunch of transfers. It's like free agency, and you can still make it work and have a shot and almost make it in. So,
well, it was TCU had a first-year head coach too, right? So,
Sonny,
you can flip things pretty quick nowadays, especially if you're in a Power 5 conference and you have the resources to do so.
That's the thing that I'm saying is it's not, it's not traditional, but it can happen now with the way the transfer portal is set up, and you can really bring in guys almost like a free agency type thing, like we're talking about, and be successful right off the rip, which is a little bit different than what it's been in the past. It's a lot different than what it was in the past.
Yeah, that's about all we really had to touch on about football. I know they started workouts back up. They had a cool little hype video as always. So, just back to the grind. They know how it is. You guys, Joe Met, we got 4 NFL games real quick. Who you got? Give us your 4.
Okay. I'm going to go Giants and Cowboys in the NFC Championship game.
Love it.
And then
you're choosing both upsets?
I do think so. And then and then AFC Championship game I think is going to end up being I know you guys love the Jags. I'm taking the Chiefs, and sadly I mean I think the Bengals Bills is a toss up, but if like my heart wants me to choose the Bengals, but my brain's telling me take the Bills. I'm definitely not going to bet on the Bills. I'm not going to bet against the Bengals. I think it's going to be a toss-up, but I do think the offensive lineman being out and only having 2 starting linemen left is a huge concern. And I think that last year it took a lot of luck, and I think this year's team was built to get back to the Super Bowl, especially with the new linemen. But without those 3 guys, it's going to be really difficult for the Bengals to win 2 more games to get back to where they wanted to get back to from last year. So I do think the Bills are going to win, sadly, but I wouldn't count Joe Burrow and the Bengals out for sure. Stady, what are your thoughts? I feel like you're going to agree with me on the NFC and disagree with me on both AFC games.
NFC, I think I want to like the Giants, but I just think the Vikings were the most fraudulent football team all season long, and it shows in their point differential. I think they literally finished like maybe +2 in point differential. I know they had like a record at one point. They were like -15 in point differential, but winning 10 games. So I don't know. Could Giants do it? Sure. It's, again, divisional game, their 3rd time playing this team, but I think Philly's got too much talent. Lane Johnson being out's big for him, but Giants are playing well, so I really don't know. Spread purpose, I guess Giants. I think Philly's going to advance. The 1 seed's going to move on there. In Buffalo, I think the Bengals are actually going to put on a hell of a show. You mentioned the O-line, but we've been talking how much. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than Jonah Williams. So I think having a backup come in who, hopefully with a chip on his shoulder to prove himself and, just hopefully bring some confidence and just play well enough. So I just think Josh Allen doesn't take care of the football. Like we've been hammering Soppy all year long. He's got a huge arm and can run, but he just threw 2 picks and had a fumble last week against the Dolphins. So not discrediting the Dolphins, but everybody like how the heck was that a game? So going Houday, I think Eagles win. Give me the Jags. Just give me the Jags. And what I'm missing.
Niners, Cowboys.
Oh, Cowboys.
I don't know what the hell you guys are on the Cowboys. I don't know if you guys watch the 49ers, but I think they're the best team in the NFL right now. They're a wagon. And I know the Cowboys look really good. I know Dak looked really good, but don't forget that the Bucs were pretty shitty all year long. So don't get like
they always had a stout defense though there, Jake.
Not this year though.
The Bucs definitely did this year.
I don't think they did.
I think the Cowboys on paper is probably the second best roster in the NFL.
Can I pull up some stats right now? See what the Bucs defense. Either way, in my opinion, I think the 49ers are the best team in the NFL right now. So I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl, to be honest with you. So I'm taking the Niners. Team of Destiny, the Jags. I'm going to take them just for fun. I'm not confident in that. I'm just going to keep hyping it up that they're the team of destiny, and I'm going to bet on them because, Stady, we were all over them last week, and it was a wild ride, and it panned out. I will say, though, I know I have a pretty bad track record when it comes to betting, but I was on fire last week, and I feel really good about the spreads for all the dogs in most of these games. I love the Jags to cover 8.5. I love the Giants to cover 7.5, Bengals 5.5. But then I think San Francisco is going to – I don't know if they're going to beat up, but I think they'll cover against the Cowboys. But I'm going to go Chiefs. Eagles-Giants is a tough game. It's really hard to beat someone in your division 3 times, as we saw last week. Like, the Bengals are clearly a lot better than the Ravens, but that was an ugly game, which is to be expected when you play a team like that. So I think it'll be super close. But I think the Giants – or not the Giants. I think the Eagles will win. Bengals, Bills. I got a future on the Bills. I hope the Bills win, but I think that's going to be a really good game. I think the Bengals will actually win that. And then the Niners. So I got Chiefs, Eagles, Bengals, Niners.
I'm just going to leave 2 closing thoughts on the NFL. I'm just going to leave 2 points. Number 1, Josh Allen turnovers. Number 2, Micah Parsons. That's all you need to know.
Stady, are we going in on the Jags again this week?
Might as well. I mean, they're too young of a team that they're too young where they're too dumb to not play hard. And Doug Peterson is just a
great coach.
Savage. That dude is sick. And he's got Trevor Lawrence just absolutely spinning it with 4 picks. Who cares? They still win.
You know, Doug Peterson's a former Cleveland Brown quarterback. Did you know that?
Really?
When the team came back.
Wow.
Way back in the day.
I have an ultimate
backup.
I have an ultimate challenge for you guys.
Sir.
Here.
You want a guest? This is who I want you guys to get as a guest on The Rock. Former NFL defensive lineman Derek Wolfe hunted and killed a massive mountain lion that was accused of terrorizing a city in Colorado this week.
I hope he did.
Hey, Chad, look at this. I got to take you over to the Wolfman jersey. Look at this.
Where's the video of him howling?
Look, there is no crazier motherfucker that's ever played for the Bearcats than Derek Wolf.
We
This
can
is
make
the
that
Wolf
happen.
Man, baby.
Zero.
Wolf
Did he kill
Man.
it?
None.
Did he kill it with his like bare hands?
Yeah, I think he choked it out just like that.
He just put it in a headlock and
Yeah,
Guy's a legend.
just choked it out.
just
Like I can see
RKO'd
the
it
mountain
and
lion jumping at him and Wolfie just being like reverse, like triangle choke. The lion's tapping out, and Derek Wolf's like, "Nah, we're not tapping out." You're
I
done.
imagine he's like
You're
sitting
done.
there, and then you hear like Randy Orton, like watch out, watch out, watch out, and he just RKO's him and then puts him in a headlock.
Yeah. Look,
That's
look.
insane. I didn't see that.
That is nuts. We
That's
could
awesome.
definitely get him on. We could facilitate that.
If you can get him on, I promise you that would be. And look, you guys just had what is probably your best episode ever because Chad Dollar is incredible.
What a
And you
human.
guys had a great interview with him, and it was a great conversation. I want Derek Wolf.
I'll put it in the works. I'll make note.
Come on, baby. Come on, Stady.
Yes,
Make it
Stady.
happen. Staddy's
we
the guest
want-
guy.
We want details of how he killed this mountain lion with his
Yeah,
bare
I don't
hands.
want to talk about
No.
Bearcat
and-
football. I don't want to talk about the NFL. I want to talk about that. That's what I would want to talk about.
Look at that thing.
That's insane.
I think it's the best thing Chad's ever brought on the Rock.
How did he?
The Wolf Man.
He's like his wife. He's just like, hey, take this
Hey,
picture of me.
get this shot. Yeah.
I
Get
want
this
a
shot.
video of him howling next to it.
He definitely like
Dead.
took the blood and like put it like that.
Oh,
like, on his-
absolutely. Absolutely.
Probably just ate it,
like
drank
drank
it.
it or something.
Yeah.
Wild.
All right,
They
we're
had
getting,
mountain lion for dinner. A
Oh,
1,000%.
100%.
we're
You get
getting
that
gory.
stuffed, right? You totally get that stuffed.
A carpet or something.
Yeah. And then you just like sit there and like sip on bourbon. Anybody you're like is over your liver and be like, you see that mountain lion?
Well,
Killed him in my bare
I killed
hands.
that with my bare fucking hands.
the other thing is, he's the mayor of that town now, right?
Oh yeah.
De
Like,
facto.
that's how this works. Like, that's now your town. There was a mountain lion terrorizing a town, and you killed the mountain lion. That's now your town.
I think he's
Wow.
like I think now he's the leader of the mountain lion wolf pack.
It might be. That is whatever that city's name was. It's now Wolf with an E. Wolf, Colorado.
And his last name is Wolf too. I mean that's
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's now
Yeah.
Wolf, Colorado. Like,
Thank
that's
you, Jake.
it's in the contract. Like,
that's incredible.
Stady, if you make this happen, you'll have a job with me forever.
You're getting a raise.
Perfect. Perfect. Consider it done. Hey,
Badass, dude. That's
heck of a job, fellas. All the listeners that tuned in live, we appreciate it so much. The comments.
We still
don't
have to
run
hear
me.
about Tampa. We have to hear about Disneyland. We got to hear about Disney. Like,
Oh yeah.
Before we leave,
Yeah.
Okay.
we got to hear about Stady, or Joe Matt and Soppy in Disney World.
Yeah.
I'm just mad he didn't wear his matching Mickey t-shirt and shorts for the episode to talk about his time in Disney.
Next week I might break it out for you guys. If we beat the
Please.
Tigers, if we beat the Tigers on Sunday, next Thursday I'll be wearing my matching Mickey suit.
Hey, I told him about your shirt that you were rocking. It looked like you had different characters, like stickers all over.
Yeah.
Joe,
They loved it. Aaron loved it.
we talked about it last week. How you were in Disney World for 7 days. Can you just? I know I already talked to you. We finished off the trip. We had dinner together at Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. We had a great time. I got the souvenir to go margarita cup. Total waste of money. Now it's just sitting in my cabinet. And my girlfriend was like, "What the hell is this?" When I brought it home, and I was like, "I'm sorry."
You get to drink water out of it now.
The food was overpriced. It wasn't great, but the vibes were incredible. And we had a great time. So I was happy that we were able to do that. But leading up to that, dude, give us just a quick high level recap of the week.
Yeah. So, was on a trip with school. We chaperoned 39 kids in Disney World. So we had 4 days in Disney. We had a day in SeaWorld, a day at Busch Gardens, and 2 days at Universal. So it was 8 days of just nonstop, on the go, amusement parks all day, every day. Universal has that City Walk area right outside of Universal, which is really cool, which Soppy's never been to. I mean, I've been to more places in Orlando than Soppy has. That's what we learned really in the past week is I've been in more areas and places in Orlando than Soppy has. So we're going to work on Soppy getting himself out there before he transfers to Tampa and just allowing him to really take in some of the cool parts about the Orlando area. But all together, great food, great rides. I mean, you can't go wrong when you're in Disney World. I know some people might disagree, but when you're committed to just joy and having a good time, you're going to enjoy Disney World. That's just the bottom line. So great food. I hope everyone tuned into my Instagram to take a look at some of my reviews. I went high level into the different foods I had at different parks, and it probably wasn't the healthiest thing for me, but you know what? Who cares? Have a good time. So we ate some food, and then me and Soppy met up. Great conversation, by the way, Sop. I know we haven't really talked about it, but when we were in Margaritaville, the vibes were electric, and we had a good time. Great conversation.
Great conversation. I mean, Cheeseburger in Paradise playing in the background. Mm-hmm. What more could you ask for?
Yeah.
That's a great review. I just want favorite park, I want favorite ride, and then I want favorite food. I mean, you were all over the food, so we got to hear the favorite, but I want those 3 favorites before we wrap this thing up.
Okay. Favorite park is probably Magic Kingdom. There's just something about it. You've got Cinderella's castle. You can't go wrong. It's just people are just happy. If you're not happy there, that's your own fault. But Magic Kingdom is great. I do love Epcot. Honorable mention to Epcot because Epcot is awesome. And you and Miss Avery would love Epcot. Like going around the world, eating all kinds of different foods and drinks and all kinds of stuff. You would love Epcot. That's the place for you. But Magic Kingdom is my favorite. Favorite ride, Hagrid's. Hagrid's is like a ride in Harry Potter World in Universal. I've never been to Harry Potter World. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. Had a great time on that ride. And then food. Food is a place called Homecoming, and it's in Disney Springs, and it has the best fried chicken. So you and Miss Avery need to check that out before you leave Orlando because it has great fried chicken. And Chef Art Smith, shout out Chef Art Smith. He actually reposted me on his Instagram. But that guy, he knows how to cook some fried chicken. So shout out to him.
I've been to Disney Springs a couple times. I don't know if I've been to that place, but Disney Springs is cool. The place we went, Universal or City Walk or whatever, that was really cool. That was my first time there. That was a cool scene. But
that's awesome. I'm glad you guys could have that moment.
We wish you were there, brother.
Yeah, I'm sorry. With that again, though, this was awesome. Great episode, best one yet. Excited for next week. Listeners, live, thank you. Listeners hearing this just later on the pod, thank you. We appreciate it. It doesn't go unnoticed. Please tweet at us. Send us anything you want. We're trying to do this right for you guys. It's not for us. Keep holding it down. Go Bearcats. Rock of Truth.
Go Bearcats.
Go Cats.